Happy New Year, everyone! My name's Miranda, and welcome to Book Talk
2014 edition, y'all.
Since it is the new year, I came up with the idea literally like 5 minutes ago to make a new book tag all about 2014, and I am calling it New Year, New Books Tag. This is a tag that I created, though they're probably not that good because this is only like the second tag I've ever done, but bear with me, and I hope you guys find it fun and do it yourselves. So here are the questions. This year I am planning on rereading Legend by Marie Lu. I just finished Champion literally 2 hours before midnight on New Year's Eve, and it's just fabulous, and I can't really remember what happened with Legend that well, so I want to go back and read the series because the series is just phenomenal, and now that it's done, I feel like I want to go back and read them all in order so I can really sit back and enjoy all the little like eggs she left that come together so nicely in the last book. And I actually used to have the book, so it would be like, no problem, just pull it off my shelf, but I lost it somewhere. I left it in my locker, so I don't know if I'm going to get it from the library or if I'm going to have to buy it, but I definitely want to reread it, and if you haven't read the series, I'm telling you now, that's something you should get on in 2014, because this series is one of my favorites, and Champion was probably one of my favorite books in 2013. Although I haven't started it, first book I'm planning on reading in the new year is The Pledge by Kimberly Durden. I read her Desires of the Dead series, The Body Finder and all that, and I really like the series. It's not my favorite, but it's really good, and The Pledge sounds really interesting. I believe the last book is in the series is coming out this year, so I figured now's the perfect time to start the series, and I haven't started it yet, but I'm working on it, and this is going to be the first book that I'm planning on reading. It might change, but who knows. The book that I am dying to see adapted to a movie in 2014, I actually have two, and one of them is obviously Divergent, which is gonna be a movie. We have a cast, we have a trailer, it's happening, people, and I'm just so excited. This movie looks phenomenal, and it looks so true to the story that I absolutely cannot wait, and they're already moving ahead with Insurgent, so I feel like this could be the next big like movie that gets me really excited, like Hunger Games level, and I haven't really had that since Harry Potter came out, so I'm really excited to see how it goes, and it looks like absolute perfection. I can't stop raving about it. If you haven't checked out the trailer, look at it now because it's going to completely change your mind. But I would also like to see Legend adapted into a movie, and I know it doesn't actually have a cast right now, but I'm putting my vote in right now. Haley Steinfeld for June, please, because I've seen fan art with her as June, and she just seems like the perfect June in my eyes. Like if they do make it a movie, which I hope they do, I don't know how I'll be able to picture anyone but Haley Steinfeld, and I don't really have anyone I picture for Day. Tess, I feel like, could be Elle Fanning possibly if it's made in the next 2 years before she gets too old, but I really feel like this book should be turned into a movie like ASAP. It has a director, it has a studio, does not have a cast, and as far as I could tell online, it does not have a script. But as I was reading Champion, it just reminded me of how fast-paced and action-packed the books are, and I think it could really be what studios are looking for because it doesn't focus too much on the romance of June and Day. Like, yes, it's there, but it's kind of the backseat to all the other things, and I think that could really help because studios are always like, oh, we gotta get the people who don't like the books. I think that could really show like mainstream appeal because it's not Twilight, people, let's be honest. It's a lot better than Twilight, and it's not all romancy, folksy, wokesy like Twilight. So I really think that the studio should get on that. If I were in charge, I would have Legend like down right now, but I know it takes a while for a book to come out and to be turned into a movie. I mean, look at Vampire Academy. That came out, what, like 2008? And it's just now being turned into a movie. So, yeah, we might have a long time to wait for the Legend movie. Now, obviously, there are so many books that I'm looking forward to reading in 2014. A lot of series are actually ending this year, which is really weird for me. The Mortal Instruments series is ending. Heroes of Olympus is ending, which I don't even know what I'm going to do without Percy Jackson in my life. Mara Dyer is finally ending. We'll finally find out what happens with everyone. I mean, the list just goes on and on. But the book that I cannot wait to read, and thankfully it comes out in about 4 weeks, so I won't have to wait that long for it, is Into the Still Blue by Veronica Rossi. This is, again, the last book in the Under the Never Sky series, and I just can't wait to see what happens. After reading Allegiant and Champion, I'm a little nervous for how this book is going to wrap up, because the dystopian, however you say it, books, they like to break our hearts, and in the case of Allegiant, they don't really like to repair it. Champion, I feel, was really good because it broke my heart and then made me smile, and I was like, I can breathe. But Allegiant, I just went on a rampage like a crazy monkey. And I'm really nervous to see what happens to my golden trio, Arya, Perry, and Roar. I just want them to have a happy ending, and especially Roar. I just want to take him and hug him and take him away from all the hurt. So I really can't wait for this book to come out, and if I could read it tomorrow, I totally would. I entered like 5 contests to win an ARC, and I didn't win any of them. So I have to wait till the 28th to find out what happens, and fingers crossed that it has a happy ending. Please, please, Veronica Rossi, give us a happy ending. Picked Uninvited by Sophie Jordan. She is a new author, and Uninvited just sounds amazing. It's about this girl whose name I cannot remember, and I'm sorry, I'm going to botch this whole synopsis up because I suck at synopsises, but it is about a girl who finds out basically that she carries a gene to be a serial killer, which, I mean, that sucks, doesn't it? And she's basically ostracized from her society. She loses her boyfriend, her family turns their back on her, and she finds this other boy who also has the serial killer gene, and they, like, I don't know, get together, you know, hang out because no one else will talk to them, and she's like, the whole story is her, like, figuring out if she can trust him or not. I haven't read the book, so that's why my synopsis sucks. I'm going off of what I read on Goodreads, but it sounds like a really interesting book. The cover is gorgeous. I know they say you can't judge a book by its cover, but I'm doing it in this case, and I hope it's really good. It's only supposed to be a 2-book series, which is really great, because I know everyone complains about how every young adult series out there is a trilogy now with 3 books, and this book is only going to be 2, so let's hope she sticks with 2 and doesn't pull a Sarah Shepard and is like, I'm going to add 15 books, because that will make me mad, and I will still have to read it because I have to know what happens, but I will not be happy about it, Sophie Jordan, so stick with 2 books. So, I don't actually read this series, but I'm excited for the cover, to see the cover, because the covers are gorgeous and I really like them, and if you load my Tumblr, pretty much everyone's like, what is this cover going to look like? And that series is The Mortal Instruments, City of Heavenly Fire. This is the last book in the series, and we still don't know what the cover looks like. It comes out in May, which is only 5 months away, so I'm figuring that we're going to find out the cover pretty soon, because when Allegiant came out in October, we found out what that cover looked like in May, and that's a 5-month difference, which is exactly what we have for City of Heavenly Fire. So you see my logic here, and I'm excited to see what it looks like. I've seen some gorgeous fan-made covers that I wish they were the real covers, but I can't wait to see what the real one looks like, who's going to be on it. I'm hoping it's Clary, because I feel like we should start with her and end with her, even though Jace was on the first cover, but this really is her series. I actually wouldn't mind having Alec and Izzy on the cover, though, either, but I feel like it could be a little foreboding. Whoever is on the cover maybe is not going to make it through the series, so in that case, let's put Simon on the cover, because I don't really care if Simon doesn't make it. Sorry. I don't even know if I'm going to read this book, but I'm just really excited to see the cover. Alright, this is a 2-part question, because a series that you can't wait to wrap up can be both good and bad. So I'm going to give you a series that I'm excited to see wrap up, and a series that I can't wait to wrap up because I hate it. First up, the series that I can't wait to see wrap up because I hate it. The Selection. Now, this was a series I had been behind for months. The cover was gorgeous. It sounded so great. I mean, Hunger Games meets The Bachelor. I was like, how do you not get a more interesting premise than that? Then I read the book, and I was like, oh, Bella Swan has been reincarnated in America's Singer. I mean, no offense to the author, everyone's entitled to their own creative decisions, but I felt like this book just set female characters back 20 years. It was all about a love triangle, which I hate love triangles, and I literally wanted to throw this book across the wall and smack America's Singer across the face, because she just annoyed me so much. I haven't read the second book. The covers are still gorgeous, unfortunately. If the covers were ugly, that would make it easier to hate it, but the covers are so pretty, and even the last one, it's just so gorgeous. I'm like, oh. But I just really can't wait for this series to wrap up. It's wrapping up with the final book, the one in April or May. I'm not sure exactly which one. Yeah, I'm glad the series is going to be over. Then the series that I can't wait to wrap up because I'm so excited to read it is The Retribution of Mara Dyer. Oh my good golly gracious, this series was supposed to be done last year and we would have known what happened to poor Noah and Mara, and I would have been able to sleep at night without shaking back and forth thinking about Noah. But no, it had to be moved back to June 4th, 2014, which is still 6 months away, and I don't know how I'm going to do this because I really have to see what happens. And if Noah or Jamie or Daniel or Mara or anyone I care about basically dies, I don't know how I'm going to function afterwards. This is a series that I am waiting with bated breath to read because I feel like it's going to destroy me and maybe put me back together, but maybe leave me for someone else to do that. So I just can't wait to see what happens, and I'm so nervous about it. The teasers have been so, like, they give us just enough without giving us what we really want because there's like barely any mention of Noah, and it's just like, ugh, I'm so nervous, but I'm so excited to read it. Alright, so that is the New Year, New Books tag. I will leave the questions below in the little info box, and I will tag a bunch of people because I didn't write down everyone's name. I should have. That was poor planning on my part. If you want to do it and I didn't tag you, please feel free to do it. And maybe if you just stumbled across my video, subscribe and make my day. So like the video, comment on what you thought of my choices, and if you're going to do the tag yourself, because I would be so interested in seeing your video and seeing your answers to the questions. And I hope you all have a great new year. Keep up the reading goals. I just set my Goodreads thing to 120 books, so we'll see if that happens. Fingers crossed. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!